Everybody's looking for money, but my lesson to you is that you can use your wealth, the wealth you already have, your spiritual capital, your social capital, and your intellectual capital, and you can access that wealth to get money through an exchange with the marketplace. So what do I mean? I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So here's what that means. That means that if you're Oprah, you convert your empathy and your strength of character into full disclosure that makes the viewers bond with you and create such a destination out of your show that you have the leverage to get whatever the best deals are from advertising partners. If you're not an Oprah, but if you're just a regular person who's just had some experience, I talk to my clients about turning tears into gold. Find find an experience that you've been through and turn that into gold. Write about it. Your social capital. You have something that the world wants that, if properly packaged, the world would be willing to pay for. Start with your friends, start with your family. What are the needs that they have? What are the things that they would be interested in buying? Or who could they connect you with, for instance? That's your social capital. I mean, there's so many aspects to social capital that I'm going to treat it separately at another time. But I just want you to know that that is one of the biggest sources of anybody's wealth. Okay, so now let's move on into mining your intellectual capital more specifically. I have a concept called the S.H.E.L.L. audit, and the S.H.E.L.L. audit is just a tool to help you dig through your journals if you're fortunate to have been journaling. Dig through your journals, dig through your resume, dig through your memories of your life experiences to come out with areas that you can potentially turn to value for other people. The shell audit is simply skills, hobbies, epics, or experiences. I used to call it experiences, but I found that people were mistaking that for job experience. So now I use the word epics, and epics means stories, your personal stories, things that you've been through, things that people close to you have been through. That's what I mean by epics. Okay, learning the things that the your academic learning, for instance, the things that you've been exposed to in a structured academic environment or in a structured learning environment. And loves have to do with your passion. They're not hobbies. They're much stronger than that. They're almost like the things that are calling for you. If you're, for instance, I'm a Christian, and if you're a Christian, your your loves would be one of Christianity is one of my loves. It's not learning because it's not academic, it's not a hobby, it's not a skill, it's not necessarily an experience. So it's loves. It's those areas of passion, all right, that you could build out of. So that's your shell audit in a nutshell. Now, when you mine and you list out these things according to these areas that I've listed in the shell audit, look through your resume. Take a fine-tooth comb through your resume. Toss out the job function descriptions that your company gave you and break down the tasks at each job that you had and see if you can decompose what skills you used. So for instance, if your job title was program coordinator 2, forget that. Start thinking day to day about what you do at that job. Did you have to speak in public? Then you have public speaking skills. Did you have to coach up some employees? Then you have executive coaching skills. Just or whatever framework you came up with. So not just technical skills. If you have those technical skills in a particular piece of software that's very popular, well, write that down also. But I'm talking about not only the narrow definition of skill, like, oh, I have skills with PowerPoint presentations, but the big picture type of skills, like negotiation skills, for instance, public communication skills, decision making skills, problem solving skills, those types of things, very important. Do not overlook any of them. All right. Now, when you have mined and listed all these assets or all these things in your shell audit, you now have to convert it. You now have to match it with a need in the marketplace. And the way to do that is with what I call the 4P opportunity framework. It's a framework of strategic positioning. It's a framework for product creation, program creation, branding. It is just so versatile. I think that it is one of the most powerful concepts that we've ever come up with here at Idea Age Consulting. I developed this concept while I was working with a nonprofit for I was part of the board for that nonprofit, and that's when I came up with this framework. But it's people, problem, process, and passion or personality. Let's start with people. Whenever you're set about to do something, you need to target a market. You need to target a profile that you are going to serve. So if you look through your S.H.E.L.L. audit, you need to ask yourself, who can I relate to? A lot of times the natural starting point is for you to serve a market that looks just like you, because you'll be more familiar with the problems that they're facing. You'll be more likely to come up with a solution that resonates. All right, but the framework is essentially people. Within the people group that you choose, what problem do you want to solve? What problem do you want to attack? All right. The third P is process. What is your process for solving their problem? Is it a product? Is it a service? Does it have a particular a sequence? Does it have a particular uniqueness? We could go really deeper into this third P, but we have to move on. Now, the fourth P has to do with passion. You need to give people a reason why. Why are you involved in serving them? What's the story? Do you have some personal epics that you could share with them? Do you have a way where you could put your personality into the marketing? Or could you at least put a human face into how you approach the marketplace? So that's the 4P opportunity framework. And this really perfectly positions you when you match this this market consciousness, this customer consciousness that's embedded in the 4P framework. When you match that with what you have in your S.H.E.L.L, you're more likely to come up with a perfect platform for monetizing your gifts. Whether that's in a service business, whether that's through speaking or through writing a book, and figuring out maybe a consulting back end on the backside of that book, or whether you form a business that is delivering professional services, or you decide to build an information publishing business, whatever it is, you will find the opportunity based on matching what's in your S.H.E.L.L with what you find in a particular group of people and the problem that they have, in devising a unique process for solving their problem, and communicating your passion and your personality as you market your solution. This is Gogo Ericasima, the Small Business Digital Coach, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation.